you doing? It's your girl, Elizabeth Adela Oshodi. It's a general diagnostics time, helping us understand ourselves, and perhaps in that process, we can understand each other better. Yeah, that's my Chinese food that I ordered. Anyway, how have you been? How is everything with you? Did that business go right? Are you making money? How is everything over there with you? I know as of last night, it was like 45 degrees in Houston towards the evening. So I bet right now it's about 29 degrees. And I had to actually remind a few friends yesterday to make sure they get some antifreeze. You need some antifreeze in your water coolant. Don't forget to put antifreeze so you don't end up buying a new transmission. Before you drive your car in such cold weather, make sure that you do have antifreeze so it doesn't cost you money. So I just sat here at the hotel. I don't have to work until tomorrow night. So I'm using that time to rest, and I'll always come here to let you know what the real life is like. Forget about the fantasy and those that are wearing shoulder pad, acting. Anybody that's been anything in their lives will have to learn patience, which I'm learning. But before I go that far, I want to ask you, are you a spender, an earner, or you spend as you earn? Money is very important too. Don't let people fool you. Money is very important. The more you see people on here, it's going to indicate two things. Either they're actually venting their minds, and their pattern of words and the words they use, the way they talk, will be different from people that you see just put their mouth in everything. I try not to do that because I do have self-respect. I know social media is here and we all supposedly have freedom of speech, but like Talking Drum said, speaking is not an issue. It is your freedom after the speech that becomes an issue, depending on who is involved. But when you watch certain people enough, you can already know their patterns. And I do know that Nigerians will always tell you, you know what, this year we no go agree, we go clean this internet. You can only clean the internet through legal means and love. Those two ways. Either you sue whoever is talking, or you learn to speak with some humility, wisdom, and patience. I saw people come out for Tonto Dike. See, the thing is, when we want people to grow, well, we all have children, we all have brothers and sisters, and even with us, we can remember our foolish days, right? I remember when I was going to Chris Okotie's church, I'd never been exposed to that kind of Christianity before, and then I said I became a born again and Pentecostal. The passion was huge for me. It was huge. We will go on buses and go preach to people. How many times do you take on a faith that even to talk to your friends becomes a problem? The first thing you want to do is run from everything you know, and then you begin to speak, sometimes out of passion. So what Tonto said about crying to the Lord, speaking with his word, you that says that you're a born again Christian, is that how God sent you to correct people? Are you supposed to come on here and shame Tonto for what she has said? What she has said is 50%. It's not like what she has said was absolutely wrong, blasphemous, or ludicrous. She said it from a myopic angle. Because I'm telling you, if you cry, no matter how much you cry, and those tears do not carry the power of the word, did not germinate and begin from a place of knowledge with God, you'll have been crying in vain. It will have been called whining. We can cry. I said it in one of my writings. Praying to God is not a formula. It is according to the structure of the pain that you carry. In one prayer session, you can cry, you can roll on the floor, you can strip yourself naked in the privacy of your room, you can somersault, you will sing, Oluwa, and you will laugh, you will jog on one spot. There is no formula to pain. In correcting other people, we cannot do it for show. That's the first lesson I learned. Having lived by myself from, I think it was 1996, I came and I brought my kids in here in 1999. And when David will do something, I will call my sister. It's always my sister. When Daniel will do something, I will call my sister. In the first place, I left California to move to Houston because I thought there were the Nigerian circle that would support me in raising boys. That I left, in raising young men that I left as boys. And the first lesson my kids told me is, Mommy, if there's something that we do or we have done, please call us and tell us you don't like it. But Naija Mama, I had to learn that. Now there are things that go on in my house that I don't discuss with my mother, with my father, with my family, with my friends. Or I have learned to look at, Sister Rose is good for this. Then I check out her brain on that. Oh, Auntie Shika is good for this. But I don't take all my house issues or my life issues to put into one pocket. So if you think you know anything about me, you know exactly what I want you to know. What I'm saying is, when people make mistakes, until we learn to correct them the way we would have loved to be corrected, we would have ended up joining the bandwagons of cruisers, unserious idiots. We will never truly achieve change. So there are a lot of people that will say they are correcting you. They are correcting you for sure, to put a feather of wisdom and innocence and holiness on their own shoulders. But we all know, no matter how people come across as perfect and kind, you must ask yourself, will I survive living with this person for once? Will they be kind? Will they have the patience? Because as Tonto may have been faulted for what she did, you guys, I look at some of you fighting for God and saying you are fighting to clean the internet. I will not last with you for 1 minute. Because I don't see the humanity in you. I see the holy indignation and the righteousness. Off with her head. How dare she did this? How dare she pour a little stain on our legend? How dare she talks about God that way? What does she think she is? When did Tonto become a Christian? That's all I see. There's no correction in love. And God is a God of love. The biggest command is given any of us is to love one another. We lack that. Everybody is doing show and knowledge. Na Mr. Big Pass, na Mr. Kapasi. Nobody has the monotony to God, to madness, to speaking. We didn't bite onto data. If there's something that she has said that is wrong, correct her in love. Let her know. Or you don't even go there. You speak to the general public and say, our God cannot be boxed. It's not a formula. It will take you, isn't it? Just as I am without one plea. Not that I have a degree. Not that I've been a born-again Christian for 99 years. Not that I think that I'm perfect or rich or poor. But that the blood was shed for me. We keep forgetting that God says through his son that he died for the world. He died for sinners. He is a walking hospital, a walking clinic. His doors are open to the filthy, to the scums of the earth. Not to talk of people who have just come to him. To say, Father, I realized I was lost, now I'm found. You want perfect human beings. We don't have to disgrace one another. I could say something out of turn tomorrow. Please, I'm open for correction, not for destruction. I'm open to learn, not for you to predispose me to being dragged and bullied. That's why you call yourselves ushers. And all you are looking at in church, you don't know sometimes. Somebody will come to church from doing a prostitution run. You don't know. With the way things are hard in this world, you don't know that people will come from carrying job with men, getting paid to get laid with. And God will touch their heart on their way home, and they will come to church in short skirts and topless bras. If you are that holy and indignant on behalf of God, how many outfits do you keep in your car just in case a prostitute, a stray dog, a junkie walks into your church and you don't think that they are holy enough to stay in the midst of you saints? Lying to yourselves. The Bible says that none is righteous, no, not one. Even the best of us still have a lot of work to do on ourselves. I'm one person that you can be around me for 50 years. Perhaps what might give me away would be when I say, oh, thank God, I don't preach Christ. Because I've gotten to a stage where there are lots of hypocrites and unfriendly, hateful people. I remember when I was going to Household of God Fellowship, and I started going to Deeper Life Church, and nobody would use my stove. I was so cold, and it was like, if you don't go to my church, you don't serve my God, you don't deserve to breathe. That is not God's way. I had to learn to love. It is the hardest thing to do, and it's not pretense. So all you Christians that should be out in the world preaching the gospel and living as examples with your lives, they welcome sorry internet, you turn yourself to the police to cite this place and catch everybody that is doing everything outside of God that you know. Because even the pastors that have been pastors for years, dedicated, honest, loving God, we have to learn to take the passion and the zeal in our lives to size it and encase it with love. What did Tonto say? That if you are not praying according to God's word, that your tears, you always like to take words out of turn. She didn't say God does not understand your tears. She said, make sure you back your tears with the knowledge in the Bible and pray aright. Didn't she just repeat what the Bible says? It says you don't receive answers to your prayers because you pray wrong. You pray amiss. She might not have framed it in the way, but see, you must learn to run from people. And on the internet, you may not be able to run. The only run you can do or running is to avoid their pages. But on your page, you learn to block and ignore. You understand? Most of you out here are just looking for somebody doing something crazy, somebody saying something out of turn, because if you say the right things, you don't get crowd. So people like drama. The Bible says in the end times, they shall have itchy ears. You're looking for mistakes, and that's how some of you are not progressing in your personal lives. You do 200 things, nobody sees you. You wear a new dress, nobody sees you. But the day you wear the one that has lost its button, that's the way, the day they tell you, do you notice there's a stain on your shirt? Always looking to catch people in their mistakes. Always looking to catch people in their errors. You never compliment people. And if you do, it's always a but. Your hair is fine, but. This one is fine, but. Do you know how miserable a lot of people are? When people go with me like that, I just smile. I don't take it personal, because diagnosis says the differential is that you are the one with the problem, not me. I'm like that. I'm plain. If my phone breaks, I'm not going to go buy another one when I can't afford it financially at the moment. For you to criticize me financially, you must be ready to put your money behind my back. If not, let me live modestly like I've been doing. Because I keep saying it. I look on the internet and I say, why are all these people fake? Why are they lying to themselves? I'm in America and sometimes my account goes into minus 600 because it is work that I do and I get paid and I have bills. You understand what I'm saying? I hate when people come out here and realize the way you look at wealth in Nigeria is not the same way you look at wealth in America. America is a strict structure. I'm a registered nurse, but I can't do food. If I do and somebody complains of diarrhea, it could affect my license. This is a nation that is built on laws and culpability. Nigeria is a freer nation than America would ever be. My friend said to me, you know, they all just came back from 30 December, right? So now everybody is reminiscing and nostalgic for the kind of freedom and reckless living, unaccountability that exists in Nigeria. So you say, if I just get more money now, I go home. I say, look, I'm not telling you not to go home. But where we have found ourselves in the worlds that we live, I said worlds, it's not a mistake. In America, as a foreigner, you know your life has been downsized. You know that you're limited in a lot of stuff, but you have certain safety. That did not excuse the fact that my son got murdered here. I'm talking safety. I'm not talking wickedness. I'm not talking evil. Everywhere around the world where blood flows, you have evil, you have hate, you have jealousy. Those are vices. I'm talking about the general picture that life provides. I have peace. I don't have to run around spiritually. Yeah, it is not. I know that there's nowhere, according to witches and spirituality, that if a witch attacks you in Akwa Ibom, then they can follow you to America. That's possible. But most of them will have to sweat. If there are 99 witches, maybe 1 or 2 will have that kind of power. And may you not walk into their traps. I understand that. You understand what I'm saying? But generally, when Nigerians tell you they want to come home, it's because we're tired of the strict ways here, the discipline, the working and having to pay. Like I said with taxes, we pay taxes here and we see what we paid for. It's different. Now, let me turn to the other side and let me tell you about Nigeria. Nigeria is a reckless country. It's a place where the rich live like prisoners. It's a place where the poor has more freedom than the rich. It's a place where you don't have to be accountable for anything. I could work with you for 3 years and just not show up one day. If you pack your load abroad where you live and go home, nobody can guarantee you. You are your own local government. All those people that are doing anti now, they're doing it because you came as visitor and they're kissing your butt because they think they can get something. The minute you go into their midst, you neutralize the special feelings they have for you. You will become like, that's why I was asking people, you say, Sadeleke should come out here and talk to you more often. All the wise people that have been talking to you, what have you done with them? You're always looking for new victims because that is all that you're looking for. Somebody to make your life easy. Life is not meant to be easy. We are meant to perceive it as, because we are prepared to face what life brings. You understand? That's the way life is. If you're not born into wealth, I keep saying it. When I give you an example, you'll be giving me Otedola. You give me Tunumbu. You give me Davido. You won't use your fathers. You are not using my father. You are not using your neighbor that you see every day. Those people that we know are struggling like us. You will always go and reach where we all don't belong. We belong here for now. You understand? Tomorrow, you can go and meet Otedola's class. But right now, Dangote is not the example you should give me. They live in another world. You live where your politicians use the money they should have used to take care of you, provide social amenities for your children, give you better hope and future. Eat breakfast. That's why the only thing I could come up with is to help us understand ourselves, our environment, the difference in our geographical space. And I must be one of the people that is always concerned about you taking everything I say or anybody says to run with it. Because our geographical spaces are different. Nigeria is not America. I may never even come back home to live anymore. Because mi ò lágbájá wàhálà. Mi ò lè sáré ògùn, mi ò dẹ̀ lè ṣáájò. Talking about ajo and those other extra curricular activities an average Nigeria does, that you keep your mouth shut, asking a pastor to pray for you, going on the mountain tops and writing secret notes of prayer requests and all that. I like to take my life in my hands. I don't believe that if I don't go to church, I'm going to die. I believe that my pastor is not holier than me. I take my life in my hands. And I use a lot of humility and respect for even the madman walking on the street without shoes on his feet. Because it's not the money, it's not the appearance, it's the value and the worth. That's why I want to ask you today. An average Nigerian in Nigeria is worthy to be saluted. Even the poorest one picking up from the street is worthy to be recognized. I wouldn't have survived it. I wouldn't. To live in a country where you don't have much of a voice, where you can guarantee the next money coming, where people die like dogs and cats that carry no justice, where the blackmailers and the prostitute and the haters, all the people with the bad behavior are the ones making it, where the graduates is relegated to the background, where the holy, the kind, the nice, the honest is eradicated and cancelled. I wouldn't have made it in Nigeria. And even coming abroad, I realized that those same traits here have kept me down, below. I didn't say beneath. There's a difference because I walk in power. But in the eyes of the world, the rich person that's carrying all the designer bag and the long hair is supposedly better than me. I'm not fighting for position here. I'm just saying, how come that some of us appreciate you in your struggles in Nigeria, knowing that we wouldn't have made it? That is why we ran. And you don't appreciate yourselves. Because it's only if you don't appreciate yourselves that you deviate into becoming derogatory speakers and opportunists that are desperate to want to destroy other people, that you let them recruit you into WhatsApp group to give you 5K, 10K to go make stupid comments on people's pages, where you don't know that when an issue happens, you only say this one thing, two times to correct it. That you don't beru eleru suri kofi baye alaye je kofi baye ti eje. That when husband and wife have issues like the Adebayos are having, you handle it like Abike Jagaban has done, not like some TikTok forums. Because if I, even starting from my children, if I'm a terrible mother, maybe I have anger issues, and my child does something to me, and you think I don't have a right to do that as a good parent, when you bring that child down, you don't bring them down to correct me for being a bad parent. You bring that child back to me, wearing all the pains and the losses and the sufferings that child is going through. It is later, when my heart is soft, that you will now sit me down and say, Elizabeth, any mother that is going to get the rewards, see their children to glorious heights, should not address issues the way that you did. Corrections are in two phases. First, you have to communicate. First, align. Let the person you are correcting know that it is for their good. And when their hearts are open to receive, that's when you can plant correction, the other side of it, to progression in it. The problem you're having in your marriage, in your friendship, is that you lump it all together at once. You rebuke and correct. It doesn't work that way. The first goal of correction that you want anybody, you are not the law, you are not the government. You correct in love for a purpose. For instance, Adebayo said somebody brought a voice note of his wife. And that's why I want to warn you, all that happened on the internet so far, this past 2-3 weeks, has been because you have been careless with words. God founded the heavens and the earth with the words of his mouth. It matters. What we say, how we say matters. Who we say things to matters. The way I talk to Amotemi, my own people, is not the same way I talk to my son. It's not the way I talk to my boss, not the way I talk to my friends. So one of our biggest prayers in life is to pray for the presence of mind. Because then you will know who you're talking to and how you talk. You don't just talk because you need to get heard. You talk because you want your words to carry impact, and not with the useless people who are just looking for clues. You want your words to carry impact. So you address issues first from begging. But when a man is done with a woman, you can't force it. What you now begin to pray for is fairness to treat and handle that child. Disability has grades. And the children that we have, that is why I keep telling you, if you're a man or a woman, you need to do your genotype and find out certain things about you. Some of you as women, once you are 40, you have kids, they're going to be mentally challenged because of certain hormonal factors within our bodies. And men, it is not all the time. Yes, our fathers may have had kids when they were 90 and the kids were sound. But the older we get in life and have children, the more we predispose them to mental issues. Have you ever thought about that? And just in case some of you are still ignorant watching me, it is the man that determines the sex of a child, not the woman. You understand? Not the woman. And in this day and age, girl child, boy child, both carry the same value according to the money in your pocket to push those children to greater heights. The days when you just feed them and keep them at the corner of the house like dogs and weeds to grow is gone. You must be able to cancel vacations, cancel trips, to sit with your children and understand where they are, or else everything that you're doing outside, all that money you're running for, you're still going to leave it to them and they will not know how to manage it. The first thing we learn in life is human management, and we can't learn it without humility. And I laugh now because half the world say they're entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs. You know your business, but you don't know people. You don't have patience. Customers are not always right, but customers are more right than you will ever be. Sheung said something that I was watching. He said, when people leave their homes to watch you as a performing artist, don't feel overly important. They're not there to watch you useless them. You are there for their sake, but they are there until we understand the dynamism of giving and getting. We will never truly become victors in life. And if we do, we will lose that position fast enough. Humility is never hold. Kindness will never be hold. Me making you feel more important than me is never going to get hold. Appreciation will never get hold. Saying thank you will never get hold. Showing your vulnerabilities too will never get old, but everything has its position, its place, and when you use them, you cannot give meat to a child. And most adults don't like milk. All these are words that the Bible has already taught us. So yes, there are different ways to pray to God. And you don't rehearse or practice before you go into His presence. But no matter how you go and the motivations of your heart and the pains in your life, if you don't found it first based on the word of God, His promises in the Bible, you'll just have been crying in vain. There are principles. God is a God of principles. And if you start off one way and end up another, there are no trajectories to prayers from you to Him, only to answers from Him to us. Let us leave room for those that are growing. Let us leave room for first love. Let us leave room for mistakes. Let us leave room for imperfections, the same way that God has left room for us every day and from way. There was a time when I couldn't tell the right from wrong. The right from wrong. The right from wrong. There was a time when I couldn't tell which way to go. Which way to go. Which way to go. Hallelujah. We all were lost once. And some of us are still lost in certain areas now. When we correct people, don't correct them because you know what their histories were. Don't correct them because you saw them in one light. You would have been holding the rod of Moses when he got upset and hit the rock and he didn't make the promised land. There are lots of things we can say that sound intelligent, but God doesn't care about that. cares about the heart. And around I went away in search of pleasures, far away from you. Lord, I turned around. I'm coming back to you. I'm coming back to you. Please take me back. Now I've seen the light. It's shining so bright. Jesus is the light. I get all emotional because who we say that we are and who we may happen to be this moment is not who we've always been. And if we can have the boldness to stay on social media and speak the way we do as if we were without sin, and God looks at us the way we look at the people that say they turned around and looking for a new life or found a new love in Christ, we wouldn't make it. Money is important, but you cannot destroy other people, capitalize on vulnerabilities and weaknesses. That's why I keep addressing the youth. I do it all the time. Youthfulness is not to play. It is to equip yourself with what you will need when you get a little bit older, when you can play responsibly. It's not a time to play. Maybe it was way back when, but now it's not. And if you have one job, you need to upgrade yourself so that you can have a little bit of freedom. The only reason why I keep going to school, I'm doing my things backwards from how people do it. They go to school a bit and start to chase money. You don't have the knowledge it takes, the discipline it takes to maintain it. Now, the pattern that works for me is to go to school and go to school and go to school, be broke. And then I'm going to start using that to open doors and work easier. Through prestige, hard work, integrity, honesty, and God's favor and grace. That's the formula I know. My formula doesn't necessarily have to work for you. But know that the money that you make shouldn't be spent the same way. We make money. You can either be a spender, an earner and a spender, spending as much as you make. Or you're an earner, which means that you have the discipline to spend what you make and you still have some left over. We all need to learn financial savviness, financial wisdom. I think the last time I said 6 months, I have been in California now because the company I'm working for pays for the hotel and arranges for transport. I think it's last night I just ordered Chinese. I've been in California for 3-4 days and I haven't spent a dime. Money is important. I respect money a lot. I respect money a lot because I know that is why people become armed robbers, thieves and killers and blackmailers and prostitutes. So I respect money. Money is not water with me. Money is gold. Money is what I work for. It's the proof that I exist and I can maintain and protect what's mine. Money must be respected. And the people around me have parties all the time. I don't have to be part of it. And their parties didn't stop because I didn't go. We're in different places in our lives. There was a time they too couldn't go to parties. They were working on their lives and they didn't get permission before they booked their dates. So I don't care if you're my brother, my sister, my father, my mother. I don't have to be at your function. I could come see you a day or two before and we're not fighting. You just can't force me into a corner that makes me feel uncomfortable. Knowing the truth of what I'm dealing with in my life. And you can call it garden, because that's if I'm looking for something seriously from God, I don't go to relieve myself with distractions. I stay focused on Him. For Him to know how much I want that thing. I don't please the people around me with fake laughter, fake joy. I separate myself unto Him. Man dimuni until He answers my prayers. That's what works for me. So, mi ò tí débi tí mo ń lọ at all. I'm working my way up there. I just want you to work your way up there too in your life. Àjọjẹ ló máa ń dùn. If you get and I get, that will understand that. That's how life should be. So, easy lion, easy tiger. Ọmọ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́, sùúrù, ṣe jẹ́jẹ́, pẹ̀lẹ́ o, ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. So whatever struggles you're going through in your life or whatever wins, know that it's your life. Every other person is secondary outside of yourself. May God help us all. We're learning. So, Femi Adebayo, I want to beg you. I'm not begging you for any other thing, but please, for the sake of the child and for the sake of the woman, because if you weren't in love with her in the first place, she wouldn't have had that baby for you. I will be all the knowledge and wisdom we have in relationship is always defensive. But I'm surprised this woman wasn't like that with you. I'm going to tell you this short story and I'm going to leave. I loved my ex-husband so much. I thought I was breathing through his nostrils. Nobody could tell me, "Pa." It was not my husband. It was my God. I loved him with everything. But he was a narcissist, very controlling. He would go and work and work and work, and he would leave instructions. I was not to go visit my mother. I was not to go visit my father. He wanted me to dress in a particular way. He pulled me out from a Pentecostal church, Household of God Fellowship, and I started going to Deeper Life. I burnt all my laces, destroyed my gold. I wasn't making up, but he never still made church. And every 2-3 weeks, he'll come here and confess how he missed service and he was in the hotel, sleeping with girls. He was bringing home all kinds of issues that I had to need medical treatment for. I loved him. I loved him. And when we founded the company, my other name is Monica, so Nika, and his name Noel. So we found Monica, and we were living our life. We had everything, 4 or 5 cars, living in good places. He was building the house in Magodo. It was like we opened up, God opened up the heavens and poured money down. Berkeley, the Egbedis, Alaji Aliu, the former director of IMB, they were all in our corner, Uncle Jugo, all those people. Because he speaks Igbo, he grew up in Enugu. He was 24, I was 21. We were living life. We started early. Then suddenly all the families came. And he started misbehaving. He wouldn't stay home. He was carrying all kinds of women. Some of them had the balls to knock on my door. I don't want to go into those stories, because when I say that, I'll say that to make him look wrong. Because I picked him. You understand what I mean? So whatever his deficit were will show how foolish I too was. That's what couples don't understand. The foolishness of your partner shows how intelligent you're not. So we have to learn to cover each other's shame. And the story I just mentioned now is more than 30 years ago. And if I go into it and begin to mention names, what I would have done is made him look wrong all over again. Even though I know that he's a different person now. He has grown like I too have grown. And when he started, he moved away. He was the one who left me. I didn't leave him. And we hadn't finished the house in Magodo at this time. And when I looked in the closet, he had moved all of his things out. I tried a couple of times to show how angry I was. So I would pack my things and try to go back to my parents. And they wouldn't let me in. So I had to grow wise. You know what I did? Because I'm not coming here to play that I was holy. I took all of his Versace Maori designer belt and shoes. I started giving them away. The air conditioner I sold. The car I sold. Because I wasn't ready to go sleep with men outside to restart my life. He got a Emeka Itiaba, that lawyer, that's now a pastor, whose mother was the governor of Enugu or somewhere. I got Gani Fawehinmi. That's how I met Funke Stanford and Festus Keyamo and all of them. But he didn't need to come to that. Because nobody won. Nobody. It doesn't make sense to strip each other naked. To allow so much hate to grow where love once lived. It's not worth it. And ever since we have been apart, we got married on the 10th of December 1998. He left me 1993. Yama Jemi, Nigeria. I made it to the US in 1996. So I've been abroad for a minute. And even when it came to wanting to talk to my children, it wouldn't let me talk to them until I could make it back in 2002. So much bitterness. I guess at the fact that I was not destroyed. I got an admission to go to the University of Ilorin for law. He said he wouldn't let me go. He couldn't let his wife become a lawyer. I went to Victory Institute of Catering and Hotel Management, owned by the same man that owns Victory by Sheraton Hotel in Ikeja. Said he couldn't let me work. And I didn't want to belong to anybody on that level. I come from a moderately okay family on my father's side, but I needed to help my mother. I needed to earn something. And I found myself arguing with him and having to straighten him out and say, you are not smarter than me. You are not more intelligent than me. Just because I keep the house and take care of the children and let you go outside to make money doesn't make me any lesser of a human being than me. When a man puts a woman in a position where she has to struggle to make you understand that she too is a human being. When you can put your hand in your pocket and dash people money, give people money, help people, and your wife has to wait till the end of the year when you buy a bag of rice, a keg of oil, some few onions to go give her parents in your burukunye, you're a wicked man. People who are kind already start with the children. Once you have a child and they're 3, 4, 5 years old, start giving them chores. Take the plate to the sink. Here, $1, piggy bag, put it there. Money is everything that we are. If your wife doesn't contribute more than open her legs so you can put your sperm in there, she'll become as your maid. You will lose value and respect for one another. If you're a rich woman married to a man that is not as rich as you, if you don't learn to raise each other up and become partners, either in thought, running ideas by one another, you will lose value. It's normal human behavior. The only way you are going to last together in that marriage, regardless of how rich the man or the woman is or is not, is to help one another be partners in thoughts, even if not on their making money. That was how we started. And then don't come to my office again because he started working with people. The office that carry both her names, that we started together. In fact, let me blow your mind. That was my registration. Leke Alda is not dead yet. Registered that company for us. Noel Nika. But when he started sleeping around and going to Stadium Hotel, Kuloshe Funky. When he started going to Inewi to meet with the big boys, I suddenly was X out of that circle. Femi Adebayo, torí Ọlọ́run. Just because we don't know tomorrow, no matter how much we calculate things, I'm not here to plead for anything more than Dashwa Shiri. Please. Don't listen to what people are saying, not even because of your father or your job, but because in your heart there's godliness. You can't say anything to anybody when their relationship goes bad. That's why I look at people that I love, kissing, and you just pray that you never get to that place. As much love as you feel, if you give life the chance, you will not believe who you would have become. I remember when I went to look for him at Deeper Life in Maryland, I didn't even know I was going to lose that pregnancy. I didn't know that years later, my first son would be murdered. That pregnancy would have left me now with 2 sons, though I thank God for the one that's left. You start off something you don't see the end of. I know that if that child, that woman, your wife, Adune, is carrying, is a genius, you would have treated her differently. Please. Mercy. I'm not going to say more than that. Please. Let us be kind, one with another, one to another. Echo. Ashisho Kojobo. Please. Please. I just wanted you to know that there was once we weren't as smart, we weren't as focused, we weren't as serious, we weren't as wise. Please. Remember from whence God took you. You go. I love you all. I just wanted to remind us of our humanity today. And that the words that we say, the actions that we take, just may be destroying somebody else. And some of you run around, but you run to the wrong people who don't even have the powers that they claim they have. So they won't be able to tell you. That's why when I pray, say, Lord, forgive me my sins. The ones that I deliberately did. The ones that I didn't even know that I did. All I know is that if you're going to be somebody in life, you will take insult. Me, I know if you take your insult, oh. Aha! That's what we have all become. But in real life, if you don't take insult, I was giving my brother an example. Let me give you a perfect example. You are going on a job interview. That job is going to earn you 500,000 a month. I'm just saying. But the receptionist at the desk is not making 500 naira a year. See, life is balanced. It is us in it that is not balanced. Because life, even though it moves, we are not getting dizzy. We are the ones that need to find our footing. I'm going to say that again. That contract you're going for, that job that you're applying for, that market that you're going to sell is going to earn you so much money. But all the people that will open up the door for you are not making 1/10 of what you intend to make on that journey. See, that is the aspect, we do things outward in Nigeria. In America, you're forced to do things inward. You have to build yourself. I'm going somewhere with this madness. So rather than you humble yourselves, you decide to corrupt society. You have started a will, an unstoppable will of giving bribes where it should be humility, of forcing doors open where you should have gently pried it open to last long. Here, I'm on this job. I can't even tell you how much I'm going to make in 1 week. I can't go there. It'll be like fantasy. Okay? But every process that I followed has been manned by people who will never see that kind of money, sometimes in a whole year. So they will keep sending you, I didn't see your BLS papers. Oh, I said, but I sent it. Well, I didn't see it. You have a choice. You can now get less defensive and say, oh, you didn't see it. I'm looking at it in my email that I sent to you. It's there. Okay, what email address would you like me to send it to? Sometimes I had to send in the same paper that I have proof for in my email that I can see that went to them 3, 4, 5 times. And this is in America. They don't know me. This is in the land of the free. They are sending me, you have health stream courses to fulfill, and if you don't, we'll take you off. Me, hug you. I didn't even call. You know what I did? I went straight into my profile, my gallery. I took snapshot, trimmed it down, cropped it, sent it to them. Have you seen it? If you want something, you have to fight for it. When people use the word fight, there are different kinds of fight. You fight the good fight of faith. Not the sword and the hammer and the street fight. No, 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 no. Those ones have their place. But when you are pursuing something, you fight for yourself with building up your character. Patience to explain word upon word, precept upon precept, repetitiously. You get exasperated, you get frustrated, you go behind closed doors, and you take a deep breath. You remind yourself, you speak to yourself on why you're doing what you're doing and what the benefits are. You don't go with the bandwagon of madness. You get to that office, you see the receptionist, hey, go and sit by that corner first. Yes, ma'am. Eshe, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. You stand there deliberately. Stand there. Give her another 20, 30 minutes. Then remember, auntie, please. She is still going to call you mommy. But at that entrance point, you call her auntie. Yes, you will call a cow brother, so that they can make room for you to pass. Rather than disrespect them, get upset, use your vagina, use money. You can use good character to open up doors. Have you ever thought about that? Or do you think everything is bribery? If you bribe your way in, you will bribe your way out. Win people over with good character, with patience. Win them over with honor and integrity and respectability. If I start off with you as bribes and we become colleagues, you will look at me as contaminated and corrupt. You will not trust me with the files in the office, and you will think that is the same way I bribe the people around me, bribe me. We lose respect for each other easily because we have abandoned good character. My son and some of my friends around me are the ones that are helping us go. Doctorate degree, lawyer degree. Our children are helping us. Either by giving us peace of mind, by helping us understand certain factors better, by being part of the assignment that they have given us in bulk. You build your own team. There is no self-made person. I keep trying to teach you that. Nobody is self-made. Maybe it's the day you didn't feel like writing that exam, or the day you didn't feel like getting up. Somebody knocks on your door and says, no, you got to go. This is important. That is also part of the contribution of how you became who you are and you got to where you're going. We are all being helped in one way or the other. Stop belittling the little effort people make because you cannot calculate it in cash. Cash and kind, may we have access to both generously in the mighty name of Jesus. We need both. But on that next assignment, you're going to go to that application. Make time. Don't plan 200. Me, I don't plan 300 things together at once. That's why I know that 24 hours is too short. God needs to make it 48 hours. Because I won't kill myself. I didn't say I cannot come and kill myself. No, it's a principle that I will not kill myself. So I planned my life. I plan it. You cannot just interrupt. Things happen that I can't avoid, but there better be things that are beneficial for both of us. Your emergency is not my emergency. Do you understand me? Just like my emergency is not your emergency. If it's going to be both our emergency, it has to be something that comes straight from the heart. And Ajekwe, you have been working to deserve it, or I have earned it. But there's no sense of entitlement to another person's time. So I kept sending in the file and sending in the file before I got this job. There are certain basic principles we need to get clear if you're going up to the next level. Everything is not money, 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 money. Though Nigerians have gotten to a stage where if you don't put money first, you can't have them open up their heart. They don't even want to hear you. All the hunger, the sufferings in their lives, and they are forgotten that what I pay for, I don't owe you any other favor for. If I bribe you to get a favor from you, if I bribe you to get a job, you have gotten everything that you would ever get from me. And that is why there's so much cold and callousness and disrespect. I helped her to get that job. So when you helped me to get the job, didn't I pay you for the contacts and connections? You already got paid. That was a business transaction. That was not an humanitarian job. So do some of you know why that rich man doesn't look at you twice? Do you know why that your colleague you helped to get into that place does not have respect or give you accolades for it? Because they paid you already. They don't owe you a dime. If I bribe to open up a place, I don't owe you a single dime. And if that place yields 2 million times what it did or it does tomorrow, you are not going to be part of that success. Because you came as a taker. And I already settled you. Know the difference. Yoga, Elizabeth Adela Oshodi. If love is gone, love is gone. No woman in this day and age should be so weak that you don't make something out of your lives. It is true. We just have to learn to be stronger. That is what we have become as women. Learn to function as business people. Learn to function as heads of household too, because the real heads are not always there. But above all, we learn what our words say. I can't believe that I'm this constrained and restraining myself from saying the stories of my bitter past, just because it would downgrade the man that I left. And honestly, he's not the same person anymore. He's a kind man now. He has grown now. Not even because he's the father of my son, children, the one that died too, but because I see that I wasn't perfect. I had a part to play in that by being too submissive. I gave him the platform to disrespect me. So some of you men that are looking for submissive wives, be careful what you ask for, because you don't have the maturity You don't have the common sense to manage a totally submissive wife. They are like lap dogs. They have no idea. You can't run anything by them. They can't give you suggestion, and they will never be there to catch you when you fall. So submission has to be back and forth on the same level so that we can both be strong the same way. You've never looked at submission like that? Yeah. You looking for a wife that is submissive. It's not the best way that you're translating it. It should be mutual submission, mutual respect, because even the strongest of us Hercules needs a place to rest his head. So when you sharpen each other, iron sharpeneth iron. I see couples walking around right now. I don't want to mention names. But this man had a stroke. His wife had to leave everything to go stand by him. Now they are both dancing together again. We need people to catch us when we fall. And that's the same thing I keep telling you about accountability. It's okay to help your friends, your brothers, your sisters, but take accountability. Make sure that they're living good lives. Because what you're giving them is diverting the funds you should use to take care of yourselves. And when they're standing well, just in case you want to oppose or you need some help, you have people to run to, because you are going to be drawing from where you have poured. You'll be withdrawing from where you have invested. We're all good together when we're strong together. I don't like laziness. There's no room around me for laziness at all, in whatever format. I can't take it. I can't. So be careful what you look for in your wife being submissive. A lot of men don't like submissive wives. You use them like maids and slaves. You don't see the intelligence behind. I don't have to lick your feet to show you that I love you. I don't. I just need to be strong and there for you. A soft landing, a tough hand, sometimes with one another. It is well with you. Yeah, I'm just here. No, just chilling. Take care. Kò sẹ́ni tó pé níwájú Olúwa ọba. None of us. So correct in love. Be patient with your children. Don't I get upset? You don't want to see, oh, I get upset. But the thing is, God has done it so much that I pull myself back easily. And I've learned to apologize where I'm wrong. I did that with my son a few weeks ago. And after I said all I said, he came back and said, Mom, you know, I see where I went wrong too. Mom, I'm also sorry. I should have been a little bit more sensitive. That's what it's all about. It's family. And if we were fighting that tip, the only place, see, you don't know the way Satan works. You all just carry Bible for nothing. Satan already saw I was going to be in that situation. And it was going to get so bad. So the only thing he could do was try to cause ruckus between me and the only help that I had. I can't tell you how many thousands of dollars has gone into just sustaining me, making sure I wasn't ashamed and I'm still able to stand with my head up high. That my son has done. No sister, no brother, no friend did all that he has done for me. And if I had a boyfriend, he would have gotten tired of me by now, just siphoning money. But my son knows me, my integrity, and he spoke for me. Not one word. In fact, I couldn't, all the money that's been going into my account has just been going pa, 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 pa. I had to text him yesterday. I need to order Chinese. Can you order me Chinese from Houston to California? He said, Mom, don't worry. He sent me, put money in my pocket when I was leaving. He said, Mom, you are going to school. Here, take Oh, Lord. Love is sweet. True love between friends, family, strangers. Love will always be sweet if it comes from a pure place. So he sent me a gift card and I ordered Chinese. I said, Mama, I don't want to have to go through that. I don't want you to have to let me bother you. because it would take like an hour for delivery, and sent me a gift card and I used it for Uber Eats. Even the richest of the rich still take loans. People, Obama didn't finish paying his student loan until after he was president. Let us be honest about the part that money plays, so that we can have clarity about how we're going to make it without having to destroy other people making it. Please. And I'm not doing this for monetization either, so you can say, you're not different. No. And there's nothing wrong in people doing it for monetization. If it's there, capitalize on it, use it. What I'm saying is, don't do it by destroying other people. When you are not mad, if there's room to make money clean, make it clean. I'm just saying, don't destroy other people's homes, other people's lives to make it. Money is important. It's like somebody telling you are alive but you have no blood. That is what money equates to. It's just that understanding the importance of making money is not the same thing as using that desperation to intrude into other people's life, destroy their welfare, spoil their business, bring them down. It's not. It's not. And no matter how many people on your page, you can't sustain it, because like me, I have my tastes change frequently. Because when I'm looking for something in life or looking to, I don't want to listen to nonsense talk. Who sleeps with somebody, doesn't sleep, is not my business. Everybody will pay for it. If they don't get STD, they get gonorrhea, the girl gets pregnant, they mess up their own lives. So people are already paying the price for their recklessness anyways. So why should I bother? You understand? Life is more valuable than that. It's very important. You, in marriages and friendships and life, you think you can repair people who don't know that something is broken. You can't repair people who don't know that something is broken. Neither can you repair a whole nation that doesn't recognize that something is wrong. They are not the ones that have problems. You are the one that is delusional. Because it can be two ways. So the things you're wasting your time on that do not recognize that there's something wrong with them is a wasteful venture. Use your time well. Stop exerting your energies over nonsense. If you like, bring yourselves out here and have sex. I will turn off the page and go somewhere else. When you didn't put glue. We have a government. Let them keep watching you and destroy you. The only thing is, don't cross into other people's lane. That's what justice is for. Justice is not for me to control your behavior, your attitude, or your habits. It's to stop you from crossing boundaries into other people's lives to destroy them or mine. That's justice. So instead of building people and thinking the whole solution is based on money, try character. The most wicked people on earth, if I come to your door today, I kneel down. You wake up tomorrow, you meet me on my knees. I go home, I take a bath. Third day, I'm on my knees. If you don't do the 100% of what I'm begging you for, you will do 50. 25, then I'll go to another door and do the same thing. By the time I do 25 here, 25 there, 25 there, you are just not ready to put in the effort it takes. You want magic, you want total answer. You ask somebody for 500, they give you 300. And you are upset because they didn't give you everything. Ingratitude. I use basic example though. It's not intelligence, it's recognition. Recognition of the lessons we learned in the past. And I never used them here for everybody. I've never told you my advice is for everybody, or suggestion, I should call it. I have no right to advise you. My suggestion. I'm humble enough to admit they're all just suggestions. Understand? And then you pick what is yours. And I keep all that I have. Your girl, Elizabeth Adelo Shidi. I love you. Take care of yourselves, okay? We'll see you soon. Goodbye. It's okay to share. Bye. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Bye.